My crystals are in my car. I should have grabbed them.
Are
Oh,
we recording?
welcome. We are
Oh,
recording.
hey.
We were just talking about crystals, and this is a really good basic crystal for anybody that's a beginner crystal user and or if you need to cleanse stuff. So the first time I used selenite was I told my friend we had a fridge that was cursed, and I'll tell the story. My stepdad, he loves to complain about home repairs. Like it's like one of those things, and he's like, I guess it gives him something to talk about or something. I don't know. So you always have to listen to his hot water heater exploded and they had all whatever happens, he gets off on it somehow, like complaining about how much it costs to maintain the home and all the, stuff that gets broken. And I was thinking about it one day, and we bought a house in 2005.
Mm-hmm.
And we owned it for 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And all those 5 years, I would hear about Bubba's house repairs and all his problems. And we never had really anything. I mean, we added on to the house, and we had, we did some stuff, but we didn't have to have any of these repairs.
There was a time that the ceiling.
Well, there was that one ceiling thing. Yeah.
With
but
water.
You know what that was? Well, anyway, so we got this fridge from Bubba. And it felt like it was like making all our other appliances break or something. I don't remember exactly what happened. It was when we moved into this new house. But they gave us an old fridge. And I was like, I think this thing is cursed with the Bubba curse of causing home repairs and, all these things to break and appliances.
It held that energy that he's got.
Yes. Yeah. And she's like, oh, you need some selenite. So we put this, so sometimes you have to do a blessing or, it's good to speak out loud, we clear this fridge.
The intention.
Yeah. Set the intentions of clearing all of the negative energy, low vibrational, whatever you feel is happening, this, the spirit of whatever is. And then we put this on top of the fridge, or you can, sit it near the thing, touching the thing, or yourself, right? It's a good clearing stone for bodies too. And then you have to cleanse it really good, right? So selenite is this really good, like a sponge, and it's just kind of a blank energy. When you cleanse it, it's just very blank, ready to soak up, whatever negativity or whatever icky stuff that you want to get out of your space.
How do you cleanse it?
So sunlight is one way. If there's certain stones you don't want to put in the sunlight, like amethyst or certain kind of pale ones that'll, the sun will bleach them and you'll lose the color. So don't put those kind of in the sunlight, but sunlight cleanses them and recharges them. Moonlight is another flavor of energy that you can cleanse and recharge with. You can use really good pure sea salt in a bowl of water and stick it in the bowl of water. Now some rocks will dissolve, so certain ones you don't want to cleanse and recharge in water. So anyway, you look up whatever kind you have, look up how to cleanse and recharge it.
I think I've heard running spring water also, right?
Yeah, you can use any kind of live water. So you could, if you go to the lake or the river or the ocean, you can use that water to cleanse and recharge your stones.
If it's not one that dissolves in water.
Right. Don't put those, or if you just dip it in there for 30 minutes and it's not gonna dissolve too much.
When I picked up my crystals, the lady was like, I don't ever do any of that. I just do the cleansing light of the violet flame morning and night for all of my crystals. And I'm like, that's wonderful. I'm not going to do anything morning and night for anything. That's just not going to happen. So thanks for the tip.
I get my teeth morning and night, but I know, right? But it's true.
That is about it.
Yeah, you can just speak blessings over your crystals too, to cleanse and recharge them. But that a lot of times people will leave stuff out and not do a kind of, so sunlight, I just let nature, do its thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, so Heather asked about this right before we were about to press play, and I said,
Which one did you have in your hand? It
information.
had like a
So
green.
this is fluorite, and it
Oh,
has
yes.
green and purple.
Yeah. Oh, my mom has a fluorite. I was looking at it and I was like, does this have amethyst? What is that green? She has like this heart that's shined.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
it's that for a while, I don't know, year and a half ago, fluorite was like, I have a fluorite bracelet and some other, I think it was a necklace. I don't know. It was
Just
another
real quick,
piece.
what is the energy of that one? Because when I was showing my mom all of my rocks, she was like, what's this? I'm like, I'm not exactly sure.
Well, this one is good. I use this for, like when I have it here with my computer. So when I'm doing a session with somebody and I need just like, it's like supportive, intuitive. It's like, for me, I use it like a touchstone, like a grounding stone. And then we could look up, there's probably, 10 other things.
Yeah.
That
They usually have like a million.
Yeah. But for me, that's how I use it and how it's very comforting to me.
Yeah. Grounding.
Yeah. It's definitely grounding. So yay, we had our and tonight we're going to be doing some releasing and clearing from our being, and we're going to do some home clearing practices. So it's appropriate that we would start off talking about using, and this is a good thing if you go around your home and do clearing, you can take your selenite, but also it's good to just set it up in the room and let it absorb the energy. So yay. So we'll do truth bombs real quick, and Heather is going to do our grounding and centering exercise tonight. Lead that. Let's see. This is for Peter. Yes. Peter's truth bomb is work for love. Y'all have no idea how appropriate that is in this moment. Do you want to share anything, celebrations or struggles or prayer requests, Peter?
Celebrations.
You can say no if you can't think of anything.
I was like totally drawing a blank. I'm like, what? Oh, I should be more prepared for this. I know it's coming. I just don't do anything. I just show up here, and then you ask me a question. I'm like, Yeah, life is good.
Yeah, life is good, and Peter's good at working for money, and then he just needs to remember this one.
Work for love.
Mm-hmm. That's part of it too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So I have a truth bomb for Heather. This is the most appropriate card for Heather. Be the person you want to fall in love with.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, you've already been working on that, right? You've been working on a whole bunch.
This is like, so I guess I'll share this because it kind of goes along with that. So I've, throughout this journey, particularly this past year, but so much of my journey has really focused on the interaction between the masculine and feminine. It was always just guided towards relationships so much from the beginning, but really this year I've dove really deep into the energies of the masculine and feminine and the ways that they interact. And I've really gotten just really strongly drawn to the really deep healing of the root and sacral chakras, just really. And so I've started doing a mentorship to become a womb priestess. And so my first session, we were just kind of talking about, my journey and where I'm looking at going with this and how I want to help others with this and, what kind of I expect on my journey with it, basically. And she told me that she gets the energy of the swan priestess from me. And I was like, I don't know what that is, but I'll look into it. And it's so so that the energy of the swan priestess is like this super deep healing, not being afraid to dive into the darkness, and the energy really of the masculine feminine energies and interacting, and the energy of really becoming that feminine, walking that initiatory journey of the feminine that becomes the pathway to initiate the masculine energy, and like rebirth this energy. And it's just been so awesome. So I'm like in that space right now of really embodying that and really just exploring and figuring these things out. And it's funny because she said that she gets the energy of those, and we had talked about this I think the last time, of the water and the air, and that she gets those energies from me, which are very Piscean energies, which I very recently realized that the Piscean energies actually fit me now when I look at the zodiac descriptions more than they ever did before I actually found myself. Now I found myself and I'm like, oh, this is actually pretty accurate. Interesting.
Yeah,
But she said
peel off all those layers.
it was just so buried.
Yeah.
But so, which is funny because my ex-husband is a Piscean too. And oh, that's buried. Oh, it's buried. But it's interesting to be able to see it. And then she said that she'd gotten this fire from me too, and I wasn't really sure about it. Somebody had just posted actually recently people who were born on a Tuesday, which I am, and how they have the fire of Aries, which is funny because my father is an Aries. But so that's where that fire part comes from. So I'm just like really learning about all of these different aspects of the energies that are within me, and then also figuring out how to kind of bring those in and alchemize those to the ways that I'm going to be really helping others. But a lot of that is my journey with the masculine and feminine energies, and really figuring out how to embody all of that in myself and my energies and bring those into union. And so that is,
and then you will be the person that you want to fall in love with.
That's exactly right.
Marry those in yourself.
Yes.
In a more balanced way.
I just also have to say, because there was a small part of me that was like, I see so many people out there that are so completely fucked up and like completely unconscious, and they're in these wonderful relationships with men who have just committed to like being there to like, and I was like, what? I'm not that. Like, what can I? Well, because of the path that I'm on, I would like completely outgrow that. I have to kind of get to that space first before I can have that partner, because I would outgrow it. So, yep.
Yep. Comparison kills. There's another truth bomb.
Yeah, right.
Compare our path to somebody else's path.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so I'll share my truth bomb. Don't take any shit.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that you did.
I don't know. I take other things besides shit that I probably shouldn't take. So we're working on that. We're always working on it, aren't we?
What about the replay people?
I'm working on that one too.
Oh yeah. Replay people. Thanks, Peter. Y'all thank Peter. This is the most appropriate card for replay people. Yes, it is. Your body knows before your mind does.
My mom got that one.
Mm-hmm. Body talks for real. Okay, that's a nice picture, but my camera's broken. I can't wait to get a new camera. A new phone that has a camera that works.
Did your camera break?
Oh gosh, so long ago. And it totally messed up my workflow with like doing sessions. I used to just snap the photo of but now we have a scanner that I can use. But I can't use a scanner to take photos of like a cute truth bomb like laying out.
It's like almost the dark ages.
I know, right? Yeah, it's ridiculous. I'm like cussing every time I have to do it because it takes so long. Oh, it's all a growth opportunity. My scanner has been helping me grow. My broken camera on my phone has been helping me grow.
I guess just being thankful for the fact that we have that ability to send those images, right?
I know, right? All right, so I think we're ready. Oh no, I have an announcement to make before we open the circle. So I'll try to be as brief as possible. I have been wanting to bring in the Level Up course and curriculum that I've, spent now years writing and revising and updating. I mean, every time I give the class, I update it and upgrade. And
we've been trying to put a class together for months.
Yes.
And I completely dropped the ball on part of it.
With Circle. Like but I couldn't figure out how to make that work. And so then I put that out of my head, and then it came in to do the 90-day course and to use those emails. So what we're going to do next year for Circle is each time we have Circle, I'm going to send one of the emails for the 90-day course that I have. And we're going to do that. And it's going to have beginner, intermediate, and advanced, statements and suggestions and tracks basically is and on some of the lessons in that, Heather will be in the beginner one. She'll do the beginner one because that's the one that's going to hit her. And then some she'll do the advanced. And then, any beginner, of course, can just really take it easy. And then anybody that wants to dive in, like I'm thinking of Celia and, a couple other people that have done a lot more of my stuff. Y'all mostly will probably do more of the intermediate and advanced stuff, but it really just depends on the day, right? The week. So I'm really excited to kind of merge the two. And I don't know what we'll call it yet, but it will be leveling up with some energy psychology and, a big focus. I mean, we always are focusing on listening to our inner voice, but we're going to, of course, continue to work with that. And we're going to do it in the daytime. I'm so glad that Peter's been coming, but it's been harder on our family for him to be gone in the evening. So, and it's going to work out for our Italian friends. I have some clients in Italy, and I've always periodically had clients in Europe. Every once in a while somebody will come. And so having it at a time that more people, more time zones can attend, I think is going to be helpful. And it's just going to be helpful with our schedule. So, some changes, mostly just additions. And I'm real excited because it finally made sense of how, once I realized, okay, we're just going to do the 90-day, all the content of the 90-day course each time in Circle. And then the Level Up stuff can come in there. It's going to be sprinkled in so that everybody is learning the whole time. We're learning how to do our own balances and practice at home. So that, you need me less, you need teachers and mentors less, and you can rely on your own daily practice for maintenance and fine tuning and attunement and all that. So I'm excited to continue to kind of grow this project, experiment. Doing this over Zoom has been really interesting. Because you can't muscle test with somebody when you're not with them physically, but it's been so powerful, so much more powerful and amazing than I ever thought it could have been when I first was resistant to the idea of doing sessions over Zoom, but it's all working out. So yay. So we got one more Circle in December, and then I'll announce the new schedule and everything. I think we're going to do 3 weeks on, 1 week off, 3 weeks out of each month on, and just start late in January and then finish before Thanksgiving. So it'll be, and it's going to be, one of the things I was worried about was the ordering. But I now can see how I can do it so that people that drop in and out and that can't come every time and that can't watch every replay, right away, or can't watch every replay before they come the first time. You're going to be able to drop in and out and kind of, take part in whatever parts you're able to participate in. But the emails are always going to be there for you, and the replays will be there for you, so you can go back and do whatever lessons you missed, and you can do it in whatever order makes sense to you. If doing it you know, starting at the beginning and going to the end might not be the way that everybody needs to do it. And so you can use your intuition about, and I mean, that's always been my advice for Sacred Circle replays is just, you know, randomly pick the one that is kind of speaking to you. And that's the one you'll need to, you know, those exercises that we do will be the ones that you need. So yeah, I keep thinking it. Sorry, it sounds like he's about to say something.
No.
All right, so I think we're ready to open the circle, and Heather's going to lead us in our grounding and centering. Yes, and the dinger is right here. I know. Here, I like to just put it down so it's. I think it's louder if you do it like this.
Oh.
Was that louder?
I don't know.
There's our.
It seemed a little louder.
A tiny bit. All right, so we're going to open our circle, and Heather's going to lead us in a grounding and centering exercise, and then we're going to release some stuff.
Okay. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
All right. I never know how my speaker is on this thing, so.
It sounds good.
So let's go ahead and take a deep breath in with an audible exhale. One more deep breath in. With an audible exhale. And the first thing that I'd like to do is just go ahead and bring your attention to your surrounding area. Just create the intention of the bubble around your body, filling your sacred space. That protective energy, setting the intention that whatever interruptions may come, whatever things may pull your attention away briefly, just allow those to flow, accept those as divine, and just create this space that only the highest vibrational energy is able to come through this protective bubble. And we're going to come back and strengthen this bubble, but right now I want to go ahead and bring our attention just into our head space. Go ahead and bring some attention to all of those buzzy thoughts that have kind of been running around, to the feeling that you kind of have around your head. Sometimes for me, it feels like a kind of buzzy or restricted feeling in my head space. Go ahead and bring attention to those thoughts. And then with another deep breath and exhale, go ahead and allow those to drop down and out through your body. Down into the earth. Go ahead and bring your attention to your eyes, releasing the four corners of your eyes, releasing any tension in your forehead, in your ears, releasing any tension in your jaw, and allowing the back of your throat to open. Releasing any tension in your neck and shoulders. Moving your body into those spaces of tension if you need to stretch them. Releasing any tension in your solar plexus and your abdominal muscles. Really allowing the belly to hang loose and open. Releasing any tension in your hips and your legs. Also releasing the muscles in the groin. Now let's bring our attention back up to the very top of our head, to that crown chakra. And just imagine that there's a lotus flower there. And pay attention to the blooming state of your lotus flower currently. Maybe it feels completely closed to you. Maybe it's completely open. Just imagine the light from the cosmic womb of the universe pouring down over you. And as that light filters through that lotus flower at the very crown of your head, it begins to blossom and bloom open. And as it does, that light begins to fill your body cell by cell, raining down, starting from the top of your head and just trickling through your body, moving down into your heart space, over your shoulders and through your arms, down into your solar plexus, and through your stomach, filling your entire body with this light of the cosmic womb, this healing energy of unconditional love, all the way down to your toes. And now I want you to imagine, just bring your attention down to your root chakra. And just imagine that either from that root chakra or from your tailbone, whatever is easiest for you to imagine, there is a cord or a root system dropping down into Mother Earth. And just follow this root system down deep through the darkness of the earth womb, down through that velvety darkness, all the way to the center core being of Mama Gaia. And as we drop this root system down, take another deep breath and just release any remaining tension, any remaining thoughts of the day, any remaining density down into the core of the earth. Allow all of those thoughts and that density to be transmuted by the energy of Mama Gaia. And now imagine that she is sending her energy up through that root system. And it comes through your body, starting from that root chakra, filtering up through your body, cell by cell, mixing and mingling with the energy from the cosmic womb, the universe. These energies can be different colors or different textures, however it shows up for you. And I want you to imagine these two energies meeting in the womb space, creating a vortex in this space. Feel how that energy feels in this sacral chakra space, this womb space, the hara space. Feel the way that it lights up and energizes. And continue releasing into this space and allowing this space to open further with this energy. And just imagine that this intense energy from the cosmic womb and from the universal from the universal cosmic womb and from Mama Gaia, the earth womb. These two energies are so bright. And as they continue spinning faster and faster, this light in your sacral chakra is just growing brighter and brighter, larger and larger, expanding outside of your body. Imagine that that energy is flowing out all the way into that sacred space that you've created to yourself and strengthening that bubble of safety and protection. Now draw your attention back into your womb space. I want you to imagine that you are lounging in this space, in this Hara point, this divine, sacred creation space that we have within us, this powerful space of manifestation. And you have a temple in this space. Just imagine what this temple looks like. What kind of textures and colors is it filled with? What kind of energy do you get from this space? And as you're getting to know this space and getting comfortable in this space, Christina is going to lead us forward and invite our guide to join us.
Yes, thank you, Heather, for all of these powerful suggestions and the guidance for bringing all this energy in. So I just want us to continue to call in the higher self, the Holy Spirit, whatever words you like for that part of yourself that's connected in spirit to communicate with and connect with the Most High God. So just take a couple of breaths to really evoke the presence of your higher self. Say hello, take a moment of gratitude for the Spirit always being with us, ready to communicate and to help us anytime we call. And so tonight, I want us to ask our higher selves, what low vibrational thing do I need to release to make room for my highest and best good now? So I'm going to just give some examples, and then I'm going to invite everybody to kind of write down and journal for a few minutes about, you might have some things flooding in already that you need to release. You might be having a hard time thinking of things. Either way, I'm going to make these suggestions, and then I'm going to also put them up on the screen so that you don't have to worry about remembering everything that I say. But just keep opening to your higher self, asking that question, what is it that I need to release? It might be emotions and fears. It might be worries that you've been having lately, that you've been noticing popping up, which is connected to that illusion of control. Where have you been wanting to control things? Where can you release control? What situations and circumstances do you need to release from your experience, from your being? And tonight we'll just begin with creating that energetic release so that those situations and circumstances can dissolve in your life. And there might be a person or people, a group of people, or even an institution that you need to release. And it might be something else entirely that I haven't even said. So just trust your higher self. Trust that holy, great spirit that connects you to your divine self. And just allow those answers to come in. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes, and I'm going to put that up on the screen so that you can kind of go down the list and, whatever comes up. And if you're not getting a lot now, you can write down the list. I'm going to screen share. But you can also just write down the list or take a screenshot of the list. This is a really good exercise to go through anytime you're want to figure out what you need to release for a full moon, or if you just know you're being weighed down with a lot of heavy stuff and you can't see your way clear about what kind of balance you need to do. First step is often to release. Do you need any paper, Peter? I've got each of these things. So just take a few moments, write down whatever came up, and then anything else you can think of that this list evokes for you. And then if you want to begin prioritizing, we're going to just pick one to do tonight. And then you have homework to do the rest of them later. And I'm going to pause the recording. So okay, welcome back. So replay people, if you haven't finished writing, press pause and finish writing. You're finished, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't ask. Heather's finished, and she was wanting to talk out a couple of things. See what guidance comes forth for that. So let's dig into it.
Two things came to me. I can't remember which one came first now, but the first one that I wrote down was that I've been trying to control the meeting of my other half, which is really the only thing that I'm still really trying to control, actually. I've really been letting everything else flow. But that I've been kind of like seeking. And so I wrote out I wrote out two things for that. And I think, so I wrote out, I'm magnetically attracting all that is in my highest and best good, and I trust the universe to provide and reveal all in perfect timing. And I feel like the second one probably gets more to the issue there.
Okay, well, you're
that one.
So Heather's already writing statements, which is awesome, and absolutely, like, from this you might get a bunch of statements that you can balance. Tonight we're going to do all the same. Everybody's going to do the same statement.
Oh,
we're going to do this kind of release, forgive, open to receive pattern. We're going to do this for this, whatever the thing is. So if that's your top one, like I release the need to control, I forgot what you said, the creation of my next relationship, or what?
The meeting of my other half, or something like that, whatever it came out as the meeting of the other half, but yeah, like that whole, basic idea.
Yeah. So what you want to do, so we'll use Heather's as an example. So once she kind of identified, like, this is my biggest one.
I don't know if that's my biggest one, or if it's, I don't know if you can muscle test for me, if that's the one that I should look at right now, or if it's the figuring out what needs to be released. Basically, there's another level of when I'm working toward the union of the masculine and feminine within for that whole other thing. which may mean that this is actually the bigger thing. There's a layer of like vulnerability that has not yet been embraced or expressed. I'm not clear exactly on what that is for the union of the masculine and feminine within me for me to become the person that I want to fall in love with.
So
Maybe this is the one.
What I would call that is fear of vulnerability. I release my fear of vulnerability that allows, and what you want to do, I'm talking to everybody now, is just name the thing in as short of a name as you can, so you can just insert it into this, I now release blank, the low vibe thing. The fear of vulnerability.
Because we have energetically, we know all of the stuff that's behind that.
Yes. And, and talking it out, that's why it is good to talk it out sometimes, because that just helps create the intention. It helps when you're saying it out loud, creating those vibrations of, so then when you go to do your balance, it includes all that, right? So sometimes even, when we're doing like a private session, we'll talk through a thing for, a good 15 minutes. And then when we get ready to do the balance, it's like, okay, we've condensed all of what we just talked about in 15 minutes into this one statement. And it's, our higher self already knows, but it helps our conscious mind, really ground and grasp and, get at all of that stuff that needs to be cleared, or all of that stuff that, needs to be healed, or whatever it is that we've been talking about. So when you create your statement, I've already created the statement, most of the statement, but for this, specific way of doing it, you can really condense that, fear of vulnerability, need to control, I don't know, a short way, need to control my relationships. Maybe that's, you can just really condense it into,
I think that second one, after I knew that would happen when I was I think that the first one really gets at probably more of the heart of the issue that's an overall umbrella for even the first thing too.
Yeah.
The release and the fear of the vulnerability.
Yeah. And I want to encourage everybody to, all the things that came up on your list are balanceable things that you can, go back and use the same thing, and tomorrow and the next day and the next day, go chip away at these, because these are all things your higher self is showing you, all the things that, okay, pay attention to this, pay attention, these are the things that you need to release. So if you had 5 or 10 things on your list, commit to, doing a balance every day on each one. And you might find that once you do the first 6, the other 4 kind of are healed at the same time, or are balanced, I guess is another way to say it, cleared. So if you have a long list, it's okay. Don't get too overwhelmed, because sometimes, 2 will go in 1. You can clear 2 with 1 balance, but it is good to be thorough. And when in doubt, just go ahead and balance it. If you can't muscle test yet, then, and you don't have a friend that can help you muscle test, then just balance it. It's not going to hurt to balance it. Muscle testing just kind of is a shortcut, helps you, target with a little more laser focus, but it definitely can't hurt to balance. Do you want to share anything, or have you decided what you want to put in this blank? Low. Okay.
I know what I want to, and I'm kind of, I don't know, thinking about what you said, Heather. Maybe it's for me, but this striving, or you have this control, this desire, and it's the wanting that's keeping you apart from it, is because to let go of the desire and just allow the manifestation to happen is really the ultimate goal of or the ultimate, the fastest way for something to manifest, because the desire, the focus on the lack of it is what keeps it apart from you energetically.
Absolutely.
So, and you probably knew that, but
yeah, no, that's
yeah, and we know these things,
but you have to.
But we have to get it in our subconscious. You have to do the work. You have to do the processes. So, so yes, absolutely, and that's why in our statement, it's kind of a long statement tonight. But that's why we're doing the forgiving myself and everything involved for the negative effects that it's had on my life, and opening to receive my highest and best good now. So we're releasing that attachment to needing that thing to be a certain way, right? That whatever that low vibe thing is in our experience. And then we're going to neutralize it by forgiving ourselves for, being attached to it or whatever, whatever comes up for you. I forgive myself and everything involved for the negative effects that it's had on my life. And if again, this can be, let's just for tonight, this for the negative effects it's had on my life is understood. So we'll just say out loud, I now release blank from my being. I forgive myself and everything involved, and I open to receive my highest and best good now. And so it's like that 3-step process of releasing the attachment, neutralizing its effects, and then opening and allowing. That's the allowing part that Peter was mentioning. So the most appropriate way to balance for this goal is to use a bathtub balance. Okay, so now it's testing strong. It's been back and forth what kind of balance we were going to use tonight. So you don't have to actually be in a bathtub, but it is one that you can do in a bathtub.
Hold on, let me go run a bath.
Right. So I'm going to stop my screen share for just a minute, just so that we can kind of show the position. Or actually, I'm going to keep my screen here. I'm going to bring the screen share back just for so everybody can get this. If you need to write it down, I now release blank from my being, because I think for the balance, I need to keep the screen on us so I can demonstrate the balance. Actually, I have it written down here. Sometimes it's good to write it down yourself, isn't it? So we'll get that statement. And then I'll show you how to do the balance. Okay. All right. So the way that you do the bathtub balance, you want to be sitting on the floor. And I'm going to get this. So if your knees need to be, they can't be totally straight, that's totally fine. But you do want your toes pointing upward. And I can probably, well.
You see my toes?
Yeah,
too?
I was going to let them see your toes. Okay, so first thing is to sit in staff pose with the straightest spine that you can muster. If you need to lean against something to support your back, that's totally fine. If you need a little pillow underneath your knees, if the knees can't go all the way straight, that's totally fine. And then hands go down, palms down. I'm trying to show it, but let's see. Palm is flat on the floor, like this, beside the body. Okay, so in staff pose first. Say your statement 3 times, minimum. You might want to say it.
Let me mute myself.
Yeah, okay, you got it. Okay, I now release, fill in the blank. I forgive myself and everything involved. I open to receive my highest and best good now. And so Peter's reminding me that if you're reading your statement, that's fine, but go ahead and get it in your head and say it at least 3 times without reading it. I now release, fill in the blank. I forgive myself and all involved. And I open to receive to my highest and best good now. So release the shoulders, let them fall down. Lengthen the spine. All right. You ready to move on?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So once you've said it enough times, just here in the beginning, noticing what you notice about your body, we're going to bring the arms up. And so you want to lead with the heart on this one. So lift the heart and bring it forward before you let the arms come down and reach for the legs. Bring the heart out over the legs as far as you can, and then let the hands rest. And so let's just say it silently to ourselves now, this time. As you're folded over your legs, breathing into any tightness that you feel in your body, backing off a little bit on the physical if it's a little too much. Okay. So once you've done it a minimum of 3 times, sometimes you need to do it a little bit more. You ready to move on? Heather, let us know when you're ready to move forward. Okay, so for this one, I'll pull the thing down a little bit again. And sorry, I should have changed this to, oops. For us to be bigger. Okay, so for this part, we're going to twist, and we're still going to stay in that forward fold. So if you got out of it, go ahead and come lead with the heart, and then bring the hands between the legs, and that gives you a little bit of leverage. You can press against your, if you can't fold forward that far, you can put your hand on the ground, or you can have the elbow down, or you can be at somewhere in between. But you're just going to use that position with the arm with a little bit of leverage, and then bring the other arm up.
Right arm first or left arm first?
It doesn't matter. We're going to do both sides. So Any arm can go in the middle, and then the opposite arm comes up, and you want to turn your heart as far as you can. And then once you get into the position, eyes go all the way up to look towards your top hand. And then you're going to say your statement 3 times out loud. Inhale, say the statement, finish the exhale. I now release all of these things. I forgive myself and everything involved. And I open to receive my highest and best good now. I release all of these things. I forgive myself and everything involved. And I open to receive my highest and best good now. I now release all of these things. I forgive myself and everything involved, and I open to receive my highest and best good now. All right, so silently, before we go back to the other side, we're going to fold forward again and silently 3 times in the middle, breathing into any tightness you feel in the body. Allow those physical limits to melt just as much as these energetic limits are melting. So once you finish with your minimum of 3 times silently there in the middle, then you'll put the opposite arm down in between the legs. And the opposite hand comes up. And this is when you say it out loud. Inhale, say the statement, finish the exhale. I now release all of these things. I forgive myself and everything involved. I open to receive my highest and best good now. Now I release all of these things from my being. Forgive myself and all involved. I open to receive my highest and best good now. I release all of these things from my being. I forgive myself and all involved. And I now open to receive my highest and best good. And so once you've done the opposite side, you can fold forward and then just slowly come up. We're going to go back to that beginning position. So you can have your hands down, palms facing onto the floor. And if you want, you can bring your hands into Namaste prayer position. So you got 2 options there, whichever feels right. And just saying the statement a few times out loud and or silently, whichever feels good. I release all of these things from my being, and I forgive myself and everything involved. I open to receive my highest and best good now. So just noticing what you notice about the body and how it feels, how it might feel different. All right, looks like we all got done at the same time. So anybody watching at home, if you need to say it more times, go ahead and say it more times. And then we're going to muscle test and celebrate the changes that we just did. So let's muscle test each statement separately. I now release, fill in the blank. So everybody just say it at the same time. I now release all of these things now. It's testing strong for Peter, and it's testing strong for Heather and for me. So yay, let's celebrate the release. Ugh, I just felt the weight kind of finally finish going when I said that. All right, so I forgive myself and all involved. It's testing strong. I forgot I don't need to test for Peter. It's testing strong for Heather. So let's celebrate the forgiveness, the neutralizing of all of those negative effects. Oh, sorry, I thought you were doing. All right. And I open to receive my highest and best good now. Do you want to test it for yourself, or you want me to? Okay. Heather already said hers, and it tested strong. So we're going to celebrate. Oh, yay. I love y'all. Okay. So, it's 9 o'clock. Oh,
we did 9.
Well, we're supposed to be done.
Yeah.
But we actually started kind of late. So let's do, we're going to do a kind of similar release, cleansing, forgiveness, open to the highest and best on our homes. So we'll just do let's do 3 or 4 rooms. So you get the gist of it. And then you can continue the same. It's just the same process over and over in each room. And you can continue that on your own. And so anybody that's in transition, do it for your current home. And then whenever you get your new home, of course, do it again. And this is something that we were just talking about. We might even need to do daily. It can be kind of lengthy, but I'm trying to, work out some shorthand so that I can just do this over our whole house. But cleansing and releasing rituals are really important. Especially the more spiritual work that you do, the more you need to protect and cleanse your space and create layers of protection. So we're not going to do like a balance or anything physical. We're just going to kind of visualize each room. We're going to start with the entrance to your home. So just go ahead and visualize the main entrance. And then later you can do the other doorways if there are other doorways in the house. But just right now, focus on the main entrance, whichever one that is for you. It doesn't have to be the front door. If the door that you use is the back door, that might be a good place to start. And so just release this space from all the negativity and bad experiences that have happened in this space, whether it might be some that you know about, if there's a fight that happened, if there's any negativity that you've just felt in that entryway and in the doorway of your home. Just set that intention to release that space from all of those low vibrational anything. And then bathe that space with the light of unconditional love. And then forgive the negative effects that whether it's something negative that happened before you moved in or it's something that you know about that happened, just take a moment of forgiveness for your part in it, for anyone else's part in it, and all negative effects that it's had on you and your family and anyone that lives there. And so we'll just, now that we've cleared it and set that intention to clear, we're going to ask Spirit to bless the space. If you want to call in some angels to guard the space, continue to amplify that light of unconditional love in this space. Just asking whatever your concept of the divine is, asking the divine to bless this space And then now let's open to the highest and best use of this space. So set the intentions of what you want to see happening in this space. The joyful welcomes that you might give to visitors or family that you haven't seen, loved ones that you haven't seen in a while. Couple more breaths as you set more intentions for what you're wanting to see, feel, and experience in this doorway and entryway to your home. And just continuing to bump up the light in this space as we set these intentions. And so now we'll move into the main living area. So whichever one it is that gets the most use, common area. And we're just going to begin this process again. So we're going to release this space from all negativity, bad experiences, low vibrational, anything that's existing in this space. Just watch it go. Tell it that it can't stay any longer. Your assignment is canceled. We'll use that light of unconditional love to come in to help this process of clearing this negativity. And then we'll forgive all of the negative effects that it's had on me and my family and anyone that's come into the space, anyone that's lived here before. Just take one more breath of forgiveness for all of that negativity that once resided here. And then once it feels cleared, we'll just ask Spirit to bless this space, this living area, this gathering space. We're going to ask angels to guard it. We're going to ask the light of unconditional love to bathe it and protect it from any new negativity. And then now we're going to open to the highest and best use of this space and set intentions for what you're wanting to see, feel, and experience in this living area. The joyful gatherings, maybe even the difficult conversations that end in greater understanding, clear communication. Loving forgiveness for all the inhabitants in the space. And so now let's move to the kitchen. And so we're going to release the kitchen from all negativity, bad experiences, fearful experiences, anything that needs to go. Send it out into the abyss for transmutation and healing. Allow the light of unconditional love to come and help with this process. And just keep shooing those negative vibrations out with whatever mental images work for you. Let that light of unconditional love come and assist you with this process. Your higher self, Holy Spirit, is here with you to assist in getting all of that negativity out of the kitchen. And then move into forgiveness of the negative effects that it's had. Any of these low vibrational things, whether they were there before you moved in or whether they were created by negativity happening that you're aware of. Forgive it all. Forgive yourself for any part that you played in keeping it there in the home or allowing it to come in. Forgive everyone involved. all circumstances and people. Letting go of all of the fights and all of the things that have happened there that have had any negative effect. And then we're going to ask God, Holy Spirit, whatever representative of the divine that you identify with, ask them to bless this space and send angels to stand watch, to keep the negativity at bay, and that light of unconditional love to continue to just fill this space, cleanse it, purify it, and protect it. And now we'll open to the highest and best use of this space in the future, setting the intentions for the things that you want to see, feel, and experience, the nourishing meals that will be cooked. Let's bless all of the food that will be prepared in this space. So much gratitude for the nourishment, both the physical nourishment that the food can provide and the emotional nourishment that happens as people gather in the kitchen in that hearth home, center of the home space. And so the last space that I want to do tonight is the space where you sleep. So if it's a bedroom, great. If it's just a space where you sleep in the home, I just want you to focus on that area and release the space from all negativity, any low vibrational experiences, residue that might be there from past residents or from past experiences and behaviors. Allow that light of unconditional love to assist you with this process and sweeping away all negativity, all low vibrational anything that needs to go. Your assignment is canceled and you're sent into the abyss for transmutation and healing. And then we're going to forgive. Forgive all of the ickiness that has just left and any negative effects that it's had on our lives, on our families, on our sleep. Forgive ourselves for our part in being attached to it, still being there. Or even just forgiving ourselves for forgetting to clear our space regularly. And so now we're just going to ask Spirit to come in and bless this space. Bring the light of unconditional love more strongly, bump it up to cleanse and purify this space, to protect it. Asking your favorite cultural representative of the divine to call in the angels to guard this space. And then now open to the highest and best use of the space. Setting intentions for everything that you want to experience, all of the restful sleep, all of the healing that will happen during dream time in this space. When the space is clear of the negative vibrations, the low vibrations, then much more healing can happen in our dream time. Setting the intention for peace and healing, peaceful rest. And so hopefully you get the gist of how this goes, and you can do this with all the rest of your spaces in your home. I encourage you to do it if you have a workspace that's separate from your home space. If you have, if your work is in your vehicle a lot, like when Peter was driving around doing appointments, sales appointments for, the 2 different companies he did that for, that there's many times that I would do this kind of process on his car. I would get some sort of just guidance to protect his vehicle, or the vehicle of a loved one. You can do your vehicles. You can do any physical space that you can visualize. You can create this kind of clearing first. You want to clear first, forgive, and then bless it and set the intention for what you want to see in that space and what you want that vehicle or that room to be used for, and how you want it to support your life and support all of the things that you're wanting to happen in your life. So yeah. Anybody have any questions about the process? Replay people, you can write me your questions. All right. So that feels good. It feels like halfway done. So we're going to finish up the rest of our house, I think, after we finish circle tonight, but I don't want it to go too long. So let's do our energy sharing ritual at the end of circle, and then we will close the circle. So you just want to imagine that all of us in circle, whether you're watching the replay, you're in the circle, and let's just send the energy of gratitude for all of these tools and techniques that we can use to clear our energy, clear our being, clear our energy bodies, and clear our physical space. Gratitude for this time and this space that we've carved out for ourselves to come to circle. And I just want to speak out gratitude for Heather for doing our grounding and centering tonight. Thank you for doing that and for adding your energy to this group. For Heather and everybody who participates. All right, so now just switch gears for a minute and open to receive that gratitude that we've just added to our vortex. Every time you participate, you add to the energy of this group and this project, this intention for a healing space. So you deserve that gratitude. Let it soak into your being. And so next flavor of energy I'd like for us to send out into the circle is the energy of forgiveness and non-judgment. Just letting it be whatever it is, whatever it was. Not letting the wrongness release. It's just a part of the drama that we're all playing out here in this earth school. Sending out that energy of forgiveness. We don't need to judge and control our experiences or anyone else's experiences or behavior. Letting it be. And then we'll switch gears and we'll open to receive that energy of forgiveness. Allow Spirit to wash you clean of all of the perceived wrongs that you think that you've done, that you're beating yourself up about.
that you think that others think that you have done.
Right. So just open to receive that forgiveness that is your birthright. We're all just here doing the best we can, trying to figure it out as we go. And we're imperfect, perfectly imperfect. And so the last energy that I want us to send out into the circle tonight is that energy of healing, of knowing that healing is possible. It's hard to put words on this energy that I'm thinking of, but it's about the perfection that we know is possible for ourselves, for our loved ones, for the world. Maybe it is that heaven on earth experience.
Unconditional love.
Mm-hmm. So just send that out into our circle, into your home space, into your life, into the lives of others. Healing is possible. It's possible and it's available to you and to all those suffering. Just holding space for knowing that it's real, that it can happen. Even the toughest cases can heal. And then now we'll just open to receive that healing energy for ourselves and for our loved ones, for just our immediate surroundings. Knowing that when the healing happens at home, it ripples out into the world. We don't need to worry about healing the world. We just need to worry about opening to receive the healing for ourselves. And by default, it ripples out into the world. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Heather, for being here tonight, for contributing to this group tonight and always. Thank you, Peter, for being here. And thank you to everybody watching the replay. We love you, and God does too. Feel it. All right, we'll see y'all next time.
Bye.